Hello, hello. Voice test 111. Hello, hello. Voice test 111. Okay. I think from a second, Rasul second,
Hello,
first
hello.
second.
Voice
Voice
test
test
111.
111. Echo. Scoundrel. Hey, opened up. It opened up. Day one. Uh, Day one advent of code. Yeah. I think በአሁኑ ዓመት 12 ፐዝሎች ብቻ ነው የሚኖሩት. So the plan is, I think I'm going to stream all 12 of them. Yeah, let's read the first puzzle. The elves have good news and bad news. The good news the good news is that they discovered project management. Oh no. I need water. The good news is that they discovered project management. These have given them the tools they need to prevent their usual Christmas emergencies. For example, they now know that the North Pole decorations need to be finished soon so that other critical tasks can start on time. The bad news is that they've realized that they have a different emergency. According to their resource planning, none of them have any time left to decorate the North Pole. Okay. They know that they need to be finished soon. The other critical tasks can start on time. To save Christmas, the elves need you to finish decorating the North Pole by December 12. Okay, so that's why we need all the stars. Collect stars by solving puzzles. Two puzzles will be made available on each day. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck. Okay, you arrive at the secret entrance to the North Pole base. Ready to start decorating. Unfortunately, the password seems to have been changed, so you can't get in. A document taped to the wall helpfully explains due to new security protocol, the password is locked in the safe below. Please see the attached document for the new combination. So yeah, it's one of those things. I think I remember this. I remember this from the previous uh, Advent of Code. Sorry. I think okay, it's working correctly. Stream. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the safe has a dial with only an arrow on it. Around the dial, uh, with only an arrow on it. Around the dial are the numbers 0 through to 99. Okay, so it's like a circle because another thing that you can click. As you turn the dial, it makes a small click noise. So yeah, so the attached document, your puzzle input, contains a sequence of rotations, one per line, which tell you how to open the safe. A rotation starts with an L or an R, which indicates whether the rotation should be to the left, toward the lower numbers, or the right, okay, towards the higher numbers. Okay, so የሙቭመንቱን ሲኩዌንስ ነው የሚሰጠው ማለት ነው. So left 68, move over left 68 clicks, and then left again to 438 30 clicks, and then right for 48 clicks. Okay, then the rotation has a distance value which indicates how many clicks the dial should be rotated in that direction. So if the dial um, we're pointing at 11, a rotation of R8 could cause the dial to point at 19. Okay, so the dial was at 11, and then we went eight clicks to the right, and then so 19. So it's just for all the right moves, you would just be adding from to the initial starting position, and then for all the L rotations, you would just be subtracting. Okay. Because the dial is a circle, turning the dial left from 0 one click makes it okay. So we have to do a wrapping add and a wrapping subtract. So yeah, we can use a modulo for this. We can just do the addition and do a modulo 100, so the number ends up being 0 to 99 if I'm so if the dial were pointing at 5, a rotation of L10 would cause it to point at 95. Yeah, so it was at 5, we went to the left 10, so we passed over 99 and got to 95. After that, a rotation of R5 could cause it to point at 0. Yep, okay, the dial starts by pointing at, okay, so our initial position is always 50. You could follow the instruction, but your recent required official North Pole Secret Internal Security Training seminar taught you that the safe is actually a decoy. The actual password is the number of times the dial is left pointing at 0 after any rotation in the sequence. Okay, they just rearranging it. So the final number or the actual password is the number of times. So when you're doing those, each time we do those movements, we need to know if we're passing over 0. I don't know how we could do that, but yeah, so we need to know if our subtraction or addition makes us point to 0 at any moment during each click. So okay, for example, suppose the attached document contained the following. So in the example behind, following these rotations would cause the dial to move as follows. It starts at 50, moves over to 82, 22, okay. Oh, so the final position 0 እንደሆነ ነው ማወቅ ያለብን, because if you're going 50 and you go to the left 68 times, during one of those clicks you would pass 0, but we don't count that. መጨረሻው 0 ከሆነ ብቻ ነው count. Okay, that simplifies things. Okay. So ziga 0, so the final number would be 3, because the dial points at 0 a total of 3 times during this process. The password in this example is 3. Analyze the rotations in your attached document. What's the actual password to open the door? Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Let's get started solving the puzzle. So the plan is we're going to be using Unison. They just had on 1.0 release on, but I think last week now. So yeah, I actually ከዚህ በፊት I think አንዴ ምናምን ነው ተጠቅሜው የማውቀው, or I don't really know the language a whole lot, but I just thought Advent of Code is a good opportunity to learn new languages. So yeah, and then I've also created a repository for it. Yeah, so Advent of Code, I think the last time I did Advent of Code was in 2023. Here we get 2025 repos. Yeah, so let's get started. So the rules are, I'm only going to be using Helix, which is my editor. So no AI autocomplete or on the cursor agentic stuff. So we're not going to be using that. But API search, we're mostly going to be using this search docs button and searching for maybe looking at the language reference and stuff. But if we can't find anything or we get stuck, we could use ChatGPT. That's why I have it open here. But yeah, I can't hear the fan running. You want to hear a fan running? But yeah, so those are the rules. Yeah, let's get started. So I think the first thing we should do is create a directory here, die01. We're gonna be using Unison. So Unison, the weird thing, if anybody has used ስሞል ታክ ምናምን ተጠቅማችሁ የምታውቁ ሰዎች ካላችሁ ኢትስ ናት ላይክ ለምሳሌ የሆነ ፕሮጀክት በዩኒሰን ስትሰሩ ኢትስ ናት ጋነ ቢ ሊስት ኦፍ ፋይልስ ኢን ዩር ላይክ ዳይሬክተሪስ ከዛ ለምሳሌ ረስት ከሆነ ዶት አሬስ ፋይላችሁ ምናምን ከዛ እነሱ ኮምፓይል ይደረጋሉ ምናምን አይደለም። You don't actually, your files are not where your code actually gets stored. It has like a global store. When you install it, I think maybe at a location somewhere in your root directory or your home directory, yeah, UCM store ይፈጥራል ማለት የዩኒሰን ስቶር ይፈጥራል። ከዛ እዛ ውስጥ ነው ሁሉም ኮድ ስቶር የሚደረገው። ስቶር ሲደረግ ደግሞ በቴክስት ፎርማት አለም ስቶር የሚደረገው compiled like the ACE tree, the abstract syntax tree version of it ነው ስቶር የሚደረገው። ያ ከዛ በኋላ like ፕሮጀክታችሁን ስትሰሩ like UCM ለምሳሌ አሁን so you use this UCM code manager so you can not like actually when you're creating functions or adding new functionality into your code base you would be writing in a scratch file. I'm gonna name mine part 1 because this is gonna be like the old days. We're on Mac now, so yeah, funny. Okay, part 1. So it doesn't matter what you name the file. It just has to end with .u. Because here in the scratch file. So if I define like a hello equals hello will save sarago ziga update aragal. Because you just created hello mibal variable run update to apply like. ይህንን አሁን የጣፍከውን ኮድ if you want to actually insert it into your code base run this update command store ለማድረግ ነው እያለኝ ያለው. So basically that's how Unison works. It's not about files now. That's the hardest part. The rest of it is just regular like እንደ Haskell vibe ነው ያለው, ግን the hardest part to get started with እሱ ነው እና they don't use like git ምናምን ነገር ማለት ነው. So they have their own git system already built in to the UCM. So if we run help and they have like sync to file, sync from file. They have a push switch, like they have their own branches and stuff. You can switch between branches and you can switch between projects, blah blah blah. So and a small talk ተጠቅማችሁም ታውቁታላችሁ. So what's the point of doing that ካላችሁ ደግሞ clear okay, what's the point of doing that ካላችሁ, if your code is stored in the abstract like the AST version, there are like cool things they could do. For example, in the Unison cloud, like compiling cache because like እናንተ like የሆነ function ለምሳሌ I can create a function called add. It takes an x and then a y and then x plus y ማለት ነው. I need to create a project, I guess. Project create AOC 2025 day 1. Isn't that how you create projects? They told me how to create projects when I first created it. Projects that create to start something new. No. I don't know how to projects that create. Okay. Projects. Let me just run projects then. Maybe I misspelled something. Okay, I've created the project with the randomly. No, I don't. What? I can't name it. So it's downloading the Unison, the standard library. Yeah. Can't I create like a project with my own name? Oh, maybe underscore I felt AOC 2025 day 01. Okay, so underscore my fellow. Okay, so we just created our project. So if I do this, yeah, so save Sarago, it doesn't actually know what type it is. Nah, Admarag. So let me just help it by telling it the types of the stuff. Add not natural, and then it will return a natural. I couldn't resolve this namespace. Okay, let's open it back up. Yeah, so okay, so እዚህ ጋር ያያችሁ እንደሆነ it detected that I've defined a new function called add. It takes a natural number. I think it's not a natural. I think it contains zero. Just think of this as number in 18. Think of it as number. But yeah, so ይሄንኛው ለምሳሌ ቅድም ያልኩኝ ነበር. So why are they storing the ASTs instead of the actual like source code of your like እሱ ምንድን ነው አለው ከሚያደርገው ዋትስ ዘ ፖይንት ኦፍ ዩኒሰን ላይክ የዩኒሰን ሰዎች ለምንድን ነው ይሄንን አፕሮች እየተከተሉ ያሉት ካላችሁ ፎር ኤግዛምፕል ኢፍ አይ ጀስት ራን ይሄንን ፋንክሽን ሴቭ ባረገው ላይክ ዌን ኢት ጌትስ ኮምፓይልድ if I don't think I'm using the Unison cloud right now, but imagine this for like a longer project or longer like implementations and stuff. This code will never need to be recompiled again because like will never need to be like you can like የሚጠቀሙት እንደ when I describe it, it's like I say it's a mix between Smalltalk, Nix, and Haskell. So Haskell because it's functional, Smalltalk because they don't let you actually, they don't care about your text file, and then Nix below, like Nix Nix everything you can install on your computer. Yeah, that like programming compile ለማድረግ or like to bring it into existence የሚያስፈልጉ ቱሎችን በሙሉ ተጠቅመው hash generate ያደርጋል. So if none of those things change, like your compiler or your source code never changes, that thing needs to be that you never need to recompile that thing. That don't like it's addressed like content addressing ይባላል. So you can create just a hash of the actual contents of the thing instead of relying on its name. So even though I name this add, when it gets actually stored into the Unison code base, it's not going to use the name add. It's going to use its own like a hash of the AST of adding an X and then a Y variable of the not type የሚባለው. So this ማንም ሰው ይህን function ቢጽፈው it's always the same AST, it's always the same final compiled output, so they can cache things really really aggressively. So and then they have their Unison cloud offering and stuff like that. Also it can let you it lets you do like fun stuff, like you can say dependence like in say lib base, I'm gonna say list, or maybe when is it list boolean. If I say dependence list base boolean, it's gonna search through the it doesn't. Oh shit. Okay, so depend, maybe I need to use a function dependence of lib base dependence of lib base boolean. Maybe let's look for a function. So to text, I guess yani code base ውስጥ ነው የጠበቀ ያለው. Let me just do dependencies then. Maybe because it's a built-in type. Okay, so dependencies. So you could dependencies የሚለው command ለምሳሌ UCM ውስጥ you can give it a function or a variable or anything really, or a type, and then it will go through it will search through the whole UCM code base and look at any other code that depends on the function you gave it or uses that function. So and then like it's like a search in like but I'm highlighting a powerful search ብላችሁ. So it lets you do stuff like this. You can check for what things are depending on me, like on a function level or a variable level, and what things am I depending on and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's on Misarao. Let's get to actually solving our problem. So the thing is going to be I think how do you define structure type, and then you can say let's call it this move, and then it's either a left and then natural number or a right natural number. I think it's a structure. Okay, so let's define our type. So yeah, so the first thing we're going to need to do the first thing, hello crowns, and then not so much. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is define the type to actually store this thing, እነዚህ ነገሮች. So it's either a left or a right, a left or a right, a left or a right. So this is what we're going to use to represent that. And then we also need, I don't know if we need to define a type, but I don't actually know what, do they have vex or lists? I guess they have lists, we're gonna use a list. Yeah, so our input would be a list of these moves. I got confused. I was experiencing to find. Oh, I guess I forgot type here. Okay, so we've defined the two types. Okay, the Danton is actually messing up the syntax highlighting is messing it up, but I don't know, let's just ignore that and move forward. So it's actually, maybe look at the custom types. Okay, so yeah, we're correct, but maybe structural is not required. They have like two types of, if I have a they have a structural type and another kind of type. I don't really know what the difference is, but for our use case, why use structural types? It might like blah blah blah, confusion blah 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 blah, type system to help enforce types compatible. Consider following your library. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so a structural type ካላችሁት የሆነ ሰው ሜቢ ብሎ እንደዚህ አይነት ፓተርን ያለው ታይፕ ዲፋይን ካረገ እኔ ደግሞ ሌላ ቦታ ይሄንን ነገር ኦፕሽናል ብለው ኦር አን ኦፕሽን ብለው ለምሳሌ ረስት ላይ ይሄ ታይፕ ኦፕሽናል ታይፕ is called an option. In other like functional language they call it a maybe. So if you mark it as structural, it will be the same across all other people's like type definitions. So compiled ምናምን ሲደረግ ቅድም ያልኳችሁን የኤስቲ ቤዝድ ሃሽንጉን without depending on the name እሱን ለመጠበቅ ያግዘናል. So I think let's ignore the stuff. And so the first thing we need to do is, so we need a parse. We need a parse move. So it will take some string. Let's call this a line because, and then we need to take us dot. Should we match or how should we parse this thing? We can just say starts with, and then so this will, maybe let's define the type first. Parse move will take a text. Unison lela weirdness acho, they don't say string, they say text. So I don't know why, but yeah, they do that. So it's gonna return a maybe. All right, I think they call it optional. Yeah, an optional move, right? So if we can say text dot starts with L line, then how do we parse out the, I guess, text dot we can just skip the first one and text dot slice or something. We can use the text dot slice thing. So it takes a natural, okay, text dot slice and the text returns the part of the text that starts at the inclusive index start and ends immediately before the exclusive. We don't know the end, so the length result is always not that mean. A slice to end or something like that, but we can say take, I don't know, this is, I think this is a stupid way of doing it. Let's be smart. I'm gonna do something. I know that they have a parser, they call it pattern. Let's use their parser thing. Unison exercises, no language fundamentals, use language reference, and then pattern blank, matching expressions with pattern matching. Not pattern matching, I don't want pattern matching. They have a regex kind of thing. Maybe documentation unison pattern. yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, a composable regular parser. That's what we want. So you can define a pattern. So for example, a phone number is a pattern dot join of a number, and then a patterns dot literal this thing, and then so our pattern is, so let's define a, do I need to add it or is it part of the standard library? It's part of the standard library. Let me just move this closer. So okay, I think my plan is to have this be less than an hour, but I think I'm wasting a bunch of time. So let's call it this left parser, and then I'm gonna call this, I guess, left move would be a pattern. And then how do you define it? It's a pattern dot join. It has a pattern dot literal. Isn't that literal? No, I guess patterns. Where does patterns come from? Pattern dot patterns, I guess. Pattern. Yes. Okay. No. Patterns dot literal. I guess I don't need to. It's telling me I don't need to. So and then L followed by a number, a patterns number, and then a patterns, and then let's forget about this for now. Okay, and then our left, this would be our right move. It's an R followed by that pattern, and then we need to map this. Then should have a pattern dot map. How do I map this into my own type? Capture? No. Pattern dot run captures the ext99. Also, okay, I need to, okay, capture intake. If you wrap a pattern in pattern dot that takes that much as use each capture, core combinatorics join. Replicate? Nope, that's not what we want. Maybe they call it transform or something. I guess pattern.run returns an optional, so, but we don't want to run it. I want to, you should give me a way to map without running it. What the fuck? No, there must be something. Maybe it's not join. Join is not what we're looking for. It's probably pair. Uncollate, uncarry, I guess not. Nope, that's not what we want. Okay, so somewhere around here maybe. No. Pattern.join, pattern.or, pattern.many, optional, at most step many until, capturing, captures. Look around, anchors, look ahead, nope. Character primitives, transform, we need a wait next. Map. They don't give me a way to map it. It's annoying. Okay, let's look at what the type of this thing is, I guess. So, and then to inspect a type, you can say left, like the angle bracket to angle, then left move. So the following error, okay. I had trouble decompiling some results. The following errors were encountered. A foreign value with no decompiled representation was, okay, what do you mean by that? It says it's a pattern that results with text, but I wanted to result with a number. Okay, let's do the actual parser, I guess. And then so move is going to be a pattern dot or, and then it will be a left move. or right move. Okay. And then we can implement the parse move. It's gonna take a str, and then you can do pattern dot run on the string. And then what does this return? I expect it to be something like this. It's a parse move. It's accepts a text. Then should return an optional thing. That's a tuple. According to this, yeah, it's a tuple. And then something, some array. And then the result is going to be a number, I guess. But I want this to be a move. Yeah. So it captures the first thing maybe. So maybe we need to tail it to pattern dot capture. Oh, so you could capture. Then pattern capture. You can say pattern or not maybe. Is that a thing? Just clear the screen and run that again. First argument to pattern dot run. But I was expecting, okay. Oh, the pattern is move. I found a value of type where I expected to find. Okay, so we're now getting a text, a list of texts, and final result is also being returned as text. So that's not what we want. We want a move and then a text, and then we're not gonna use the first one. But we're not getting a move. Let's return this back to number. So a number that's not actually a pattern that matches an integer or a floating point number. And again, the thing is, it's not returning it as a number; it's returning it as a string. So how do we get a list of all the patterns? Patterns. Let's just do, I think you can do a lib. No, I can say patterns. Let's say let's lib base. It's in base, but where is it? Okay, base, and then could it be under syntax? The autocomplete is not helping, I guess. Patterns. Let's take a look at capture as. Behaves like capture but returns its first argument as the capture. Captures, returns a list. Captures the segment of the input. Okay, capture as. The example pattern compute programs. What if we do this? Then capture. Okay, the first is have types pattern to text. but I expected pattern text. So I have to give it another capture. Maybe I think the map stuff I was looking for is capture as. So you can say capture as to capture specific value instead of the match tag. For example, this captures any amount of white space as a single. That's not what I want. Come on. Okay, that's not what I want. Undo. Do I have to convert it to a number myself? Is that what you're telling me? Can't be it. They need to fix this thing. How can I know where the module is? The heck? But I can do like pattern dot. They have a search tool. Search. Say text. No. Text dot find pattern. Text dot find all pattern. Okay. Pattern.doc base. There's no pattern here on the top level. Oh, there is a pattern on the top level? Okay. So these are all the functions we have, okay. And then is patterns. Okay, capture us. Pattern A, capture, takes the pattern name, returns the pattern name. Returns a T. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's look for lib base patterns, or I guess it can be base pattern. Okay, so we have, these are all the other patterns. We have digit, patterns dot digit, images any digit, patterns dot int. It's not an integer, but I guess there is no way. Okay, pattern dot number, but it's still it's a string. How do I map it to be a IP ls pause. We can parse a query, a segment, a subdel, underscore, a URI, user info. Okay, so I think we have to do patterns dot number. So we have to do, I guess we have to do the parsing here. So we have to do something like this. Optional dot map, and then I don't really remember how they you anonymous functions lambda. How do you define a lambda? It's just okay. So it's gonna be, we're gonna ignore the first thing, we don't care about that. But the second thing is going to be the number. Right, so if we do we just return x. I got confused here. I was surprised to find blah here. Okay, so I don't need that. I can just do this. Okay, nice. Is being applied to 3 arguments. It looks like this function call is being applied to 3. Well, that's not how you define a. How do you define a lambda? Anonymous function in Unison. Does ChatGPT even know about Unison? Ask that question. Okay, you have to. Okay, I guess. Yeah. No, it might be it. No. But you just lied. It's not how it works. Let's look at places where I call list.map maybe. Because that's. You can't really demo list.map without. I saw a map here somewhere around here, list.map. But they are passing in a function directly. It's not an anonymous function. Not an anonymous function. Top level terms, functions. Okay, function application. Nope, function definition. Function types. But it's not even a dog arat line. Oh, function. I think maybe so it has to be something like this. Yeah, I think maybe we don't need to do that. Let's just look at the error. Is expected a like dot one or something like that. I have to do cases and say I think this worked. Okay, type error. Oh, so I don't care about type actually. Okay, so now that's working there. Okay, so I have to do cases to pattern match it out. Okay. Yeah, so what are we getting now? So we're getting parse move is a text that returns an optional text. But so how can I there should be a way for me to know pattern dot yeah, so we're able to get out the number. So this is actually አሁን እንደዚህ ነው እየሆነ ያለው so ከዛ ይሄ text is the number we got out of the parsing the L and R return ይደረግ አይደለም. But what we need to do is do something like I execute like from my experience from other function longs I would expect to be able to do like something like this cases, and then maybe the first thing would be ignored, and then I can say take out the second thing. The second thing would be a number, and I can say not dot from text and then x, something like this. I was expecting to be able to do something like this, but they don't have a map function on their patterns. How can you? Maybe I have to. So something that takes a pattern and then returns an A. That's what I need. So capture as A, pattern A, pattern A. capture within each capture. Look around. Nope, I want to character primitives. Nope. Numbers in retailers. Yeah, all of them return. Pattern.run is much drop. Pattern.run. Capture as might be the thing we need. Behave like capture, but returns it first argument as the capture. Yeah. Is anybody helping in the? Yeah, okay. Pero keep the unison share. I don't know what they want to do. Yeah, definitely much. I have to think to myself. Yeah. It's gonna take me a while to solve it because I don't even know the language. Yeah, so I think they don't have it, so we have to think of another way to do this. The pattern map ነገር የላቸውም. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna capture both of them. So pattern dot capture and then pattern dot capture. Can I capture two at the same time? So why is this complaining? You can't capture a literal. Okay, so okay, capture. I can say capture as, and then okay. I think I can. I'm getting it. I think probably so. I need some like. So I need I just need something like this: a structural, a type, move, tag, and then this should be a left or a right, maybe, and then this would return a left, and then this would return a right. Large dynamic. Oh, okay, so I have to parenthesize this. Okay. Oh, so okay, so left is ambiguous. We're talking about move tag left and move tag right. Okay, capture as pattern blah blah blah. The second argument to capture as type pattern text, but I expected pattern move tag. What's the point of capture as if they both have to be the same type then? I don't know what the point of capture as is. What the heck? Capture as. So yeah, we have to do this one. No? So okay, we have to do L. We have to just spin. Stupid. That's stupid. And then R. Tell me that's how you're supposed to do it. Okay. And then what about here? It still returns a single text. What is this? How is the type not different? What does pattern dot join? It joins the two things. Let's actually try running this. I don't know what it's supposed to do. Okay, so if we say run and then parse move and then give it a L48 found, but in order for me to run it, okay, so no, not run, but I can do just parse move and then L48. I have to do update maybe so that Unison knows about it. Parse move L48 ls. Are you not able to run in the quick start? I thought I'm run a function. Oh, so I can just evaluate it. Okay, so I have to do test would be parse move and then L48, and then we need to look at test. Okay, some empty string. I'm gonna remove the capture and see. What I expect to see is the 48, I guess, by the case, but it's still empty string. Okay, I guess. And then save. Yeah, it's still an empty string. Maybe pattern.join is not what we want. Pattern.join. Join PS sequence of a list of patterns. The second pattern in the list is run on the remainder of the first, and so on until all patterns are matched. So yeah, so መጀመሪያ run ሲያደርግ it will take out the L, and then on the second run when it gets to the second one it will take out 48. That's what I expected to see, but I guess maybe let's remainder no ማለት ነው. I guess let's do and then let's call this y. Let's forget about the type. Okay, so now so y, okay, the remainder is 48. So okay. Okay. But what if we do a little child? So it should be none. Okay. And then what if we do 10 none? Okay. Makes sense. Okay. But we don't know a little calculating. Let's actually let's look at both of them. Move it and display. So it's a 10 followed by an empty string. If there was blah blah, it will be the blah blah on the second part. So the first part is the number we captured. So I can say, so if I can do just pattern dot run here, I can do if I do pattern. I think the mapping function is just using pattern dot run, and then if I do optional dot map, and then the first thing will be we have to do cases, and then this would be the number, and then this would be the leftover stuff. We don't care about that. And then we can say not dot from text, and then no, but we might need to do optional dot end then. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. Don't I have all functions here? And then so this is one of those things, that's cool thing. So I know this API. So this API is I'll give you a function that will return you another option. So replace the original option with the option I'm going to give you. So we don't have an option A kind of situation. So an option wrapped by an option situation. So you would use an end, for example, Rust like it's called, this function is called endZane. ግን ቅድም እንዳልኳችሁ because Unison doesn't actually care about the name of the function, it just cares about the AST representation in the types ምናምን. Oh, so I found some terms in the scope with similar names but different types. What in, like, nothing. No, were you thinking of these things? So this is what it's saying. So what I should do is instead do map and then optional yeah, dot flatten. I guess no, what I actually want is I guess a flat map. I think that's it, a flat map. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, so I think so this will now instead take a string instead then. But you can't order them now. Yeah, right now. But you can order, oh, you can order options. So I think this is how we're going to solve this. Yeah, the or ምናምን stuff is handled on the option level, not ያ ቀደም እያልኩት የነበረው ፓርሰሩ ሌቭል ላይ ስፔሻል ኮምቢኔትሪክስ ምናምን ነገር የላቸውም። So yeah, okay, I guess I can't do a pipe here. Do they have that other thing called the thingy with the this thing? I can't do a pattern here, I guess. Okay, I guess they're gonna have to make me write another function here. Parse move, parse left move takes in a, so okay, I think I understand now. Yeah, I think and then it will take in the pattern, run left move, and then what we just did here. And then paste that down there. This is parse left move is gonna take in a text and then return an optional move. And I can do optional dot flat map, and then here we just have the number, so I can do left x. Yeah, the flat map oh, I didn't give it the string. Okay, so it's complaining. Was this supposed to be the number? No. Okay, so the guy. Okay, so now let's just parse left move. I couldn't figure out what left is. Let's call this move left, move right, and then I can say move left. The first argument to option.floatMap has type move, but I expected optional B. I have to decay this again, I guess. I found a value of type move. Okay, yeah, so this does not need to be a flat map, this can be a map. Okay, so I was wrong. This has to be X, and then no, this has to be number, and then yeah, something like that. But I have to do their cons stuff, other cons, and then the rest of it I don't care about. Where the second argument of, okay. Pattern.run will always return a list of the first one. Run. To return an optional A, which will contain the result. We need to destructure that list to get the first value out, but it's complaining because okay, so maybe this is not how you destructure a list. So let's look for list. Language fundamentals, language reference, list patterns. Okay, this is the pattern you need to use to so num, and then this symbol, and then that. Okay, there is an unmatched pattern again. Yeah. Holy shit! This is ending up. We're defining way too many functions. Text. Text to num, and then this will be a text, and then an optional not think, and a parse text to num is going to be, I guess, a match situation. Match less. How do you do a match in this language? If we have one followed by an empty string, and then we can return not from text of num, otherwise it's always gonna be an optional none. Is this how you define? Do I have to, is this like OCaml match with pattern match E with, okay, so you don't need the pipes here. Okay, this is working fine, and then we need to do optional flat map. No, parse text to num. Okay. Okay. Let me just let me just call this parse to num. I guess it should be parse to not nat, and then what we're actually receiving is something like this, followed by a text. So we can just ignore the other part. Ignore. You can't destructure it there. Can't you? Why can't you? Can't I just do this here on the definition? Well, I got confused here. Okay, this would be tuple dot first how's that an error? Okay, that's weird. So this is parse to not. Yes, finally we did it. We're parsing a single line and it only took us an hour. Holy shit. We gotta move fast. Okay, so we're parsing it. It's so L10 and a base at now, so it will be a move left of 10. So we need to copy this thing again and then just select everything that says left and then change it to be a right, and then we have the right parser. So if I say parse right move, this will return, it returns a move right because this is not we also need to do the same thing here. Left needs to be, nope, select the line, everything that says left should be right, and then this should be R, and then here we should use the right move. Okay, so now it says none, and then if I say right here, move right 10. Okay, finally, now we can finally create the parse move function. It takes a string, so it first needs to, so this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be an optional, and then it's gonna be an or. Do they not have an or? I guess it's gonna be, so okay, so let's do this. It's gonna first try to do a parse left move with the string that it was given, and this, if that fails, it's gonna do an optional dot times up. So yeah, it's gonna do an or else, and then parse right move. Okay, and then give it a string. Yep. So the type of this is parse move. Yeah, it has already figured it out, but let's just, it will be easier when we are reading the code. Optional, and then move. Finally. Okay, so we now have a way to parse. So we can say parse move, and then L10. Yep, move left 99, move left 99 R. If it starts with E or W or another thing, so it will be an N. So what we need to do now is read the file and then go over each line and then call this parse move function to create this input structure. Yeah, so we need we implemented parse move. Just block them out and say like this. Oh, does that comment out the whole block? I guess it does. Okay. Yeah, okay, double quotes, don't, okay, double dash, don't do that. Okay, so we need a parse lines or parse input function, and then this one is gonna be a string, but this one will take a string also, but this one we can do just a split, and then hopefully it will return a list, and then we can say, or do they have a lines? Oh, they have a lines. Beautiful. So there's already a way for us to complex the lines of str, and then list dot map. I guess this would be a filter map. Yeah, it will be a filter map, and then we'll give it a parse move. You know, like functional programming assembly, like you create tiny little functions and then composing them together. Beautiful. Okay, so list, I guess I can just do this move. Nice. So we have our parse input function here. So it doesn't actually, let's call it input. So, and then this should be guess we don't need that then. I thought, so what was this saying? I found a value of type move, what I expected, blah, blah. Okay, so a structure, or if I just remove the structure, yeah, doesn't. So we don't actually need the inputs. It's just a list of moves. So we can just say move. Is there a way to define a type alias? Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's forget about that. Okay. Oh. Are there any questions? Oh, okay. Nope, there aren't. Okay. So we have the parse input function now. Now we just need to read the file and create our main function. They have this weird thing called abilities and stuff like that in Unison. Print line hello. This is how we do it. Yeah, so like functional Lahona, they have their own functional language alone. They have their own way of. It's kind of like Haskell. I think it's probably exactly like Haskell. Yeah, they have their own way to do side effects and stuff. But I was surprised to find an end of a stanza here. So I did not create that correctly. So what we need to do is go to the quick start and get the hello world example. Where is the hello world? Welcome, I guess. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Yep. So this is it. And then something like that. What did I do wrong? Oh, so we have to do this. But it will say the expression in range needs the ability exception, and then I would just need to do. Okay, or you can also run an exception. You can also call an exception, I guess. And then you can do a comma here. Okay, so if I do run main here, it will print out hello and return the unit type, the empty tuple. Okay, so how do you read a file in how do you read a file in Unison? I don't even read file, or I can just say file. How do you read a file here? Load. It's not what we want. Compile, update, no. Search Archo is useless, extremely useless. Step-by-step guides, it can't be usage topics, running a program, blah blah blah, Unison code, language reference, file. Oh, okay, basic file operations. Where is this? Oh, what's okay? Basic file operations, read file. read file UTF-8. You give it a pass, it gives you a string, I guess, supposed to. It's the usage example. You have to create a file pass, and yeah, how do I get this out? I have to okay, so here we can do but do I have to, can I can I map it, or how can I call a function on this? Is it just parse move and then I give it that? No, that's not right. We need to actually learn about abilities. Pack. Okay. Abilities. Yeah, abilities and ability handlers. Abilities in function types. No print line, print. Okay, you have to do. You can get it. Okay, you can put it in a. You can do contents equal, and then this would be okay, and then I can say moves, and then parse move content no, but you can't. It's saying you can't put it in a variable. The first argument to parse move have type doc, but I expected. Oh, this is content moves. And then I can say print line moves. Hopefully you can't print it. How do I debug print something? Debug print in Unison. So we have to debug dot trace moves. Nice. Okay, so it will read from an input.txt, and then we have to download it. Let's create a. Should we create a directory for this? Input, and then input example 1.txt, and then it will be the first example. This copy paste, and then this will be your path, and then pop. Okay. So what we should see now is all of the moves get parsed and get printed out if we do run main. Oh, it only parsed one of them. Oh, I have to use parse input, of course. Yeah. What do you mean? Ah. What? What it is? Date. sorry, I wasn't able to perform update because I need all constructor names to be nested somewhere beneath the corresponding type name. The constructor move.left is not nested beneath the corresponding type name. Please either use move to move it, or if it's an extra copy, you can simply delete force it and okay, I don't care. Delete force move. What is it talking about? Delete force move. Delete. I deleted these terms below. Nothing. Delete force move the left. Maybe. Okay. What about if I run update now? I don't care. I don't care about that. Move dot right. But the good thing is it pattern matched them. It's actually good. Yeah, that's actually good that I did that. But now let's run instead of parse move, parse input, and then you can run main. Nice. We're getting a list. Is it correct? L68, L68, L30, L30, R48, L5, 60, L55, L1. So okay, now we have to actually implement the password function, the actual solution. We just spent all that time parsing. Okay, so here we need to do or what do we call it? So basically it's gonna be called find password, and it's gonna take a list of the moves and it will return a number, right? So find password moves, and then so we can use a reduce. I think that's what we're supposed to do here, and then we can basically march over them. And but what would be the function we'll be using to reduce? So it will be like find password. It will be, I guess, apply move, and then it will take in a move, and then take the accumulator. We need to keep track of two things: the current position and the accumulator. Or so I'll just define a type here: structure. Nope, it's gonna be a record or a struct. What do you call your record types? Product types. User defined types, data types. Then how can I define a record? Structure types, record types. Okay, so it's something like this. Just do that. Yeah, okay. So apply move is going to not that long, but let's call this our state, and this would be the position, the current position. What was the thing called? Dial position, and zero count, and both of these are, instead of being a text, they are natural numbers. Not okay. So just numbers. And then so it will take in the state, the current state, and the current move we're looking at. Yep. And then it will return back the state again, a new state, I guess. Yeah, I think that's correct. So here we need to do apply move state, and then move, and then we need to match the move with, it's either a move left num or a move right num, and then can do, so yeah, so this will return a new state. We might need to do a late dial position equals a state dot dial position plus, because left line minus num, and then modulo 100 in, and then we need to create a new dial position, will be, yes, just that, and then a zero count will be if dial position equals 0, then 0 count plus 1, else 0 count. I'm not even, I'm just like type my syntax jargon. Let me just clear out my thought, and then this would be just num. So actually for both of the cases that will be the same. So if this should be something like this. So late in, and then we just need to calculate the dial position based on the move. Yeah, so and then I can copy this, then pop, and then done, and then yeah, and then do the same here. Yeah, I think, yep, you just need to calculate the and then here it can just be this with that. Okay, now let's start actually fixing it. You provide type signature. You provided a type signature, but I didn't find the accompanying binding after it. Oh, okay. That should be a Y. I got confused there. I was expecting a comma. Yeah. Okay. How do you actually create those records? You have to do. Oh, nice. Okay. You have to do one of those things. Okay. That's right. I think like that. That's actually good. Okay, it's kind of like how Elm does it. That's good. You can just do a dial position and then do that. But here, yep, and then do that. Okay. We got a whole bunch of errors. All actions are expected to have a type of unit to catch accidental delayed values. To explicitly ignore results, use underscore equals. What do you mean ignore results? I'm returning it. Do they even have a late in thing? I don't think they do. Do they have it? Lexical forms, identifiers, expressions. Identifiers maybe. built-in tuple, blah blah, unit abilities. Can I define a variable in, okay, variable patterns? It's not it actually, it's not what we want. Variable, type, scope type variables. No, you don't have to, okay. Oh, nice, okay, we don't have to do a late in situation. You can just do that. But how do we, the indentation is pop maybe I guess indented more. Nope, no, not that, but something like this. State dot, no. Okay, it's actually good. Okay, but it's saying state is not used. Unused binding state. Okay, you have to destructure it. Dot access ምናምን ብሎ ነገር የለም መሰለኝ. There is actually. But it's a function. Oh no. Ah shit, okay. So I have to do some like dial position state and then dial position state and then 0 count state. I don't want to do that actually. Can I just destructure it? How can I destructure it? I can do this state dial position and 0 count fully. I'm not confused about that. Do I have to do the record dial position and 0 count? Is that how you do it? But you don't need the parentheses if you do that way. Destructure. There is currently no special for creating pattern matching or decomposing. That works the same for other regular types. So I did this, but you're complaining. Okay, so it can't be there, but it can be. So I can do this. You're telling me you can say state, and then I can create that here, and then do equal state. Is that what you're telling me? Yes, that's what it's telling me, and then do that. These definitions depend on each other cyclically, but aren't guarded by. Oh, I guess this is a new dial position. New dial position, and if new dial position is equal, okay. So basically, this is the thing that's gonna solve it for us, and find password will just be a list that reduce or fold left, and then it will take in the apply move function the initial state is going to be state. They say the dial position starts at 50. The zero count starts at 0 because we haven't counted any yet. And then find password is, it takes a move and returns a state. Should we do a print state kind of thing, or I think I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna debug it out. Debug password equals find password, and then give it the moves, and then we'll instead do a password. Okay, now we've actually completed the first part. Run main. Okay, the final state is 0, and I guess I should name as password. So and then clear run main. No, run main. According to this, the final dial position is 0, and the number of zeros we got is 6. Is that what we was with it? The final position is 32. Nowhere near there. Modulo 100, maybe, but the zero count is 3. Okay, that's extremely wrong. Moves. What could be it? Did anybody catch the bug? I think I don't know why that didn't work. Run main. So we did parse it correctly, right? L8 Arras L99 L1 L55 R60 L5 R8. Okay, so when they move left, we're subtracting from the dial position. When they move right, we're adding to the dial position. If the new dial position is 0, then we increment our 0 count, otherwise we don't. To find the password, we fold over the list from the left. Maybe the folding direction matters. Maybe let's do fold right, if they do have that. And then this will be a move state thing. I don't know if how we're iterating over. Are we iterating it from the left side or the right side? I don't know if that will matter, but yeah, that's the same. It doesn't matter. Run main. Why is this wrong? Let's actually debug now, I guess. I don't know. So let's do a let's do, what should we do? Debug. Let's look at the trace and then say debug. There is another one, debug. Tap or to debug it, or trace watch. Let's watch how the state evolves. State. Yes, that should be a top. So okay, we start at 50, and then let's also do debug dot top move, and then yeah, so let's clear that, run main. We start at 50, and then we do a move left 82, and then okay, okay, we have to be able to go into negative numbers so that we can do the modulo. Yeah, so this needs to actually be, do they have an integer? Yeah, dial position needs to be an integer. Yeah, and then an integer plus. So yeah, they got a more. We need to do int from not that, I think. Oh, there was an as if as int or something like that. So we need a way to convert that a not to an int. So turn convert not to int in Unison. Okay, nice. So now run main. A state is 32, is plus 32, but the zero count is still 1. That shouldn't be the case. Unless that, is there a reason why that would need to be an integer too? I'm not sure, but let's do this. Okay, we started off at 50, and then we moved 82 positions to the left, so we ended up at 100 minus 30, 100 minus 32. That is 68, which is correct. And then the state is now 68. Oh no, what? How that? Huh? Wait a minute, I'm actually wrong about the maths marathon. So we can't just 50 ሲቀነስ 68 ማድረግ አንችልም. And then modulo ማድረግ አንችልም. We have to do 100 minus 50 ሲቀነስ 68. Huh? If you just do, so basically what we're doing here is we take the dial position, which is 50, 50, and then when we get like L6000 minus 68, which will be minus 18, and then we modulo that with 100, which is not what we should be doing, I guess. No, it is. But here, it ended up going to 68. Why? How does that make sense? And then 68 came متى 68 is the move we made. The math is correct, but our implementation is somehow wrong. Does anybody know what the bug is? Yeah, it have to be circular. Yeah, it modulo 100 since yeah modulo 100 ነው ግን የዩኒሰን ማት እንዴት እንደሚሰራ አላውቅም። ፕላስ ስላልኩት ነው እዚህ ጋር like does the plus 100 make a difference? But it says you're dividing an int. I can do a not to int here and then not to int. We can remove the plus 100 stuff, but yeah, it's wrong. It's setting the state to the move. ቀጣዩ ላይ ካየነው move 14. Oh, it's getting delayed. Oh no. Oh, wow, okay. It's like delayed መሰለኝ እዚህ ጋር 68 ሆነ for some reason. On the next run it ended up being 82, which was not correct, and then on the next run it ended up being 83, which is not correct. I don't know, it's not, it's wrong. Why is that wrong? I think እንትን ነው መሰለኝ አሁን ሜሳፕ እያደረገ ያለው fold right ማድረጋችን ነው እንጂ our implementation is correct. So let's do a fold left. I think that's my suspicion. It does actually matter how ከሌፍት ሳይድ ኢትሬት እያደረጋችሁ እንደሆነ ወይስ ከራይት ሳይድ ኢትሬት እያደረጋችሁ መሆኑ I think it does actually matter. Let me just revert this back to fold left. Yeah, fold left to right should be the correct position. Nice. Oh, okay. 32 the ending position, 3 zeros. 32 the ending position, 3 zeros. Come on, stupid. I spent that much time trying to. Okay, yeah, you have to. It does matter if you go from left to right or right to left. Let me just remove the debug stuff. Run main again. Let's not log the moves because that will be too much for the actual puzzle. Let's run main 32 እና 3. Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually make this look nicer. Maybe print password maybe, and then it will take in a state and then to return a pop-up IO and then an exception, and then print password state, and then it will do print line. I don't know how you format stuff in in Unison, but hopefully it will work. So let's do this print line. It should be print. How many kinds of print do they have? Print. They have a regular just print. Okay, so I can say dial position and then print not to text, and then do a dial position state and then print line, and then do that again for 0 count, 0 count. Let's put spaces here, spaces there. It's actually complaining about something. it got confused. Why did I get confused? Why? We can say print password. Now you have to do a unit thing here, I think. And then not text line, int text. Int text. This will be enough. Oh, okay. We might be. Maybe we don't need a do here. Is that what you're telling me? I found a value of type unit that what? Something like this, or find password pipe to print password. I can literally end it with a lab here. Okay. The heck? Just do instead of state password. I don't know why it didn't like that, but didn't. Update run main. Okay, so now let's actually get the real input. I'm gonna control pane, and then I guess a split down. I forgot how it's okay. So just okay. Let's download our actual paddle input. Okay. Duplicate. Oh, there's like okay, it has to be authenticated. The fuck? Do I have to copy paste it, or I guess save to workspace? And then we can copy it from, where is it? Okay, copy dot input.txt to here, and then I'll move this to input.txt inputs, and then example one. I'd say puzzle one.txt. Then let's copy this, delete that. How fast is it going to run, I wonder? It's, I don't know, I don't think it's a lot, but yeah, let's run it. It's saying 1118 ነው እያለ ነው. Let's hope you're right. Yay! Finally got 1 star after 2 hours of streaming. Holy shit. Of nearly 2 hours of streaming. Continue to part 2. Okay, part 2. you are sure that's the right password, but the door won't open. You knock, but nobody answers. You build a snowman while you think. As you're rolling the snowballs for your snowman, you find another security document that must have fallen into the snow. Due to the newer security protocols, please use password method 0x4344C49434B until further notice. You remember from your training seminar that method blah 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 means you. Yeah, I'm not sure, but there is a trick to this actually. Let's do this. Okay, so the dial starts by pointing at 50. Dial is rotated L6 to point at 82. During the rotation, it points at 01. The dial is rotated to 80.1. We can just be dumb, or I guess we can just do the simplest thing to do is it's the dumbest thing to do again. النظام انت ما نشتغل what do we and the run length encoding consider arganacho, we can just turn it into a giant list of one click moves. Like I don't know, let's try to use our brain and how would you do that? I think there's a way to do that. How much time it passed through zero, because ችግሩ like አንዴ ብቻ እንዳለፈ አንዴ ዜሮ እንዳለፈ ብቻ ቼክ አድርገን like that is the calculation greater than or like your final positionችን is greater than less than zero or greater than zero, or no, the first position minus our last position. No, that won't work. Our current position minus zero, so this is how far away we are from zero. ከዛ በኋላ if like ከሱ distance greater than to the left corner, or for that distance would need to be two distances, distance to the left or distance to the right, and then you need to check if the distance is greater than depending on the move we get, the move to the left or the move to the right, and then እሱ ቼክ አድርገን like አንዴ እንዳለፈ ማወቅ እንችላለን። ግን we also need to know how many times, because they can give us like a right አንድ ሺህ and then it will go over zero like 10 times I guess አንድ ሺህ ከተሰጠው. So we also would need to be able to count the number of times, not just if we passed zero, then how many times did we pass zero in that move. So I think I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I can't really. I'm just gonna flatten it out into a single list of left or right values, and then everything would be an end position. So, and then we wouldn't need to even change the apply move function and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think that's ግን እኔ እየፈራሁት ያለሁት ኢንፑታችን ላይ ኢንፑታችን ላይ what if they have it be like አውቀው ረጅም አድርገውት ከዛ it will take us በጣም ረጅም ሰዓት calculate. So let me just do this. Let me just do input, and then I guess I was wrong to number these things. Example 1 is inputs, example text, move inputs, puzzle 1 inputs puzzle. Okay, this is good. Inputs, and then I'm gonna commit this maybe, and then so they actually FAQ actually ምናምን they ask you not to publish your inputs to GitHub. I've been doing that for I think the last 2 years now. And then I also need to git ignore I think what do they call it, Unison history, or what do they call it, Unison history. Okay, and Unison history, I think that's what I'm gonna flatten it out. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna try to be smart and do figure out some kind of math way. You can probably one of those things. Oh, like explain it directly. Of course not. I'm not gonna do that. And then unison formatting aላችሁ. Unison format file. Is there a format? እንትን ዶክመንቴሽናቸው ላይ ግን መስራት አለባቸው በጣም ፎርማት እኔ እንዴት ፎርማት እንደማድረግ እንዳለብኝ ነው የነገራችሁኝ ያላችሁት። ከማን ዶንት ዩ ጋይስ ሃቭ አ ፎርማት ኮማንድ? ቅድም ፎርማት አድርጎታል እኮ አይ ዶንት ኖ ሃው ኢት ዲድ ኢት ግን I guess what you need to do is update and then to file ነው ምናምን የሚል ነገር ነበር. So I have to write it again, write it to the file. So sync to file. Use sync to file branch. You sync to not sync from file. No. Write to file. Pocket. Who cares about formatting? It's formatted enough, yes. So okay, midfit implement parts die O1 part O1. No, okay. We forgot to change one thing. This should be paddle.txt and then commit and then I just push that up. And then what I need to do is I don't want to I want to copy it. I don't want to modify the solution we've created to part 1. I'm gonna create a new file and then close this and then open up UCM again and then open up part 2, save and then update and then run main. This will run main. Then okay, this is giving us the previous solution. So now what I want to introduce is a so yeah, move tag قدم فترة we defined it again, we didn't use it, but now we're actually gonna be using it. So I'm gonna tag left and then tag right, and then so after ziga after parse move we need an additional step. So we have a parse input and then we need to create a flatten input. The flatten input function is going to take a list of moves and then it will return a list of move tags, and then that would be flatten input moves, and then you could say list dot. So we need a way to flatten. Maybe we need first we need a flatten move, not input but flatten move, and then to return a move, and then to return a list of move tags. So basically this is gonna be flatten too much. Okay, so this should be the move, and then we can match move with, and then if it's a move left number, this would be a list dot repeat don't they have a list dot replicate? What? Replicate نميلود functional, I guess. They just need to come up, they just like coming up with new words for stuff. So this will be replicate num, and then left move tag left, and then this would be a move right num. This would be a list dot replicate number times, and then move tag right. Oh, I guess this is tag left, and then tag right, and then update. Okay, why are you telling me about an error there? You provided a type signature, but I didn't. Okay. It should be a T. It looks like this function application is missing this argument. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. No. Okay. So here we need to run list.map for every move, right? So this should just be flatten move, one move, but okay, this don't replicate. Oh, okay, I guess it has to be a function. Nice. Okay, so here this would be a list of move tags, so we need to pipe that into list.flat. I guess, let me just do that then. List.flat map. Nice. Update. So basically what we're doing now is, if we get like እንደዛ የሚያደርጉ ይመስለኛል ዴር ትሪኪ ሰዎች ናቸው የአድቬንት ኦፍ ኮድ ፐዝል የሚያዘጋጁ ሰዎች. So if they give us like move left 1000, and then we'll create an array of 1000 left moves, and so our zero count should be correct. So I'm gonna run this with the example first. Example.txt. So they said for the example in the new system it should be careful if the dial were pointing at 50, a single rotation like R1000 we're packed. This is gonna take a whole bunch of time to compute. We're still streaming, right? We didn't break. Yeah, so R1000 now, like if they do like a random 10,000 in there, or I don't know, they could even do 1 million. I didn't actually check. Let's check. Let's look at the puzzle input. What's the longest number we have? 850 አለ 969. I guess 1000 is the largest number. That should be it's gonna take maybe a minute or ምናምን. I don't know how fast Unison is, but it's not gonna be very fast, so it's not the optimal solution. I know there is a smarter way to do this, but I'm not smart enough to figure it out. Yeah, so okay. So in this example, the dial points are 0 3 times at the end of the rotation, plus 3 more times during the rotation. So in this case, the new password would be 6. So we should see 6 now. Let's run update, clear, run main. Oh, count 3. Oh no, okay. We created flatten, but we didn't flatten anything. So here, after moves, we're gonna create a flattened, and then we're gonna call flatten input, and then moves, and then give this to the flatten. Okay, so we also need to kind of maybe modify our apply function. Not really though. The look modification actually we do need to modify it. So move tag We didn't even actually need a new type 4 days ago. Yeah, I was being stupid. I didn't. We don't need a new type. Just delete that. We don't need a new type. We don't need a new type. We can just say. We can just say move left 1, and then move right 1. We don't need to create any new types. So move type. We're not gonna move, and then move, and then update run main. Okay, zero count 6 dial position search 2. Now let's for the finale. Then I think they're gonna screw us. I think this is gonna take a whole bunch of time to compute, and oh, okay. ወዲያው ጨረሰ። እዚህ ጋር 1118 ነበር፣ አሁን 7199 ሆነ። So let's paste that. Yeah. Nice. We solved the die 1. We did it. Nice. It took us how much time did it take us? 2 hours and 30 minutes. It took us a full 1 hour to parse it because I didn't know about the Unison parsing combinatorics library. So yeah, as soon as ብዙ ጊዜ ፈጀው move implement die1 part 2, push that, and then maybe on the readme, no, we have a readme on the top level, right? So let's say die1 implemented in Unison, and then let's link to the website. It's a fun language actually. እንትን ይሄ ከዩሴም ጋር ምናምን ሰርች እያደረጉ ዶክመንቴሽን እያገኙ ምናምን መስራት ደስ ይላል። ግን I don't know, maybe I just need to spend more time with it. But their website website documentation actually is lacking. But yeah, of course, that's expected for any functional programming language. So let me just sure update readme push, kill that. Nice. Reload. Yep, there it is. So that one. No. GitHub doesn't even know about Unison. Shit. Syntax anything alone. Is it because .u ስለሆነ ነው የፋይሉ ስም? It's not even recognizing it. I think maybe .uc ከሆነ ሊያውቀው ይችላል, or .um at some point um እንደነበር አውቃለሁ። ብቻ okay, so this was today's stream. See you tomorrow. Thanks everybody. Yeah, you are gonna leave the vote in public, right? Yeah, probably, that's on. I think I'm okay with that. Might want to watch after I do mine. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, of course. አብዛኛው ሰው እኔ like stream እያደረኩኝ ያለሁት ለራሴ accountability ነው እንጂ or something, just to force me to finish it, because I think if we go to the calendar Kaden, the first year I did Advent of Code was back in 12th grade, I think. No, how do you events? Okay, yeah, back in 12th grade 2021. Kaza, like I only did rest ምናምን የተማርኩኝ ነበር at this point, so I only did 4 days. And school ምናምን ስለነበር ማታ ላይ ከተለቀቁ በኋላ ምናምን ነበር like one day away ምናምን ነበር የሰራኋቸው የነበረው. So I didn't even get far. 2022 ላይ I tried to get to be serious, because at some point I just got tired and the problems just started getting to ከባድ እየሆኑ መጡ። ከዛ ቆምኩኝ። ከዛ the farthest I got was in 2028. I only just skipped some days, but I think completed it, but skipped some days. and then 2024 I decided not to do it. 2025 እነሱ 12 ስለቀነሱት the plan is to do the whole thing. Yeah, so yeah, the video is gonna be up. Now we're gonna do 12 of them. Lanaga, probably we're gonna be using gleam.run. Yeah, we're gonna be using this language. Yep. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye bye, everyone. Where should I end this? I think I should end it here. Your stream will stop immediately and